The next part of the training is going to be sessions. Again, sessions are cloud-based PDFs, Google Doc version of PDF. So I'm uploading it to the cloud. Multiple people are logging into their account. They're able to comment. They're able to work collaboratively. But on the flip side, there are some slight downsides to the session. And by slight, I mean stuff that's bad enough that you might not want to use a session for everything. It makes sense for some things, doesn't make sense for others. So let's first talk about the good. The good is, you got one document. You can see this little image. A couple people are working in there at the same time. You can follow along with what they're doing. You can see their comments. You can write them little chat notes. You could send them a message about a certain comment if you wanted to. Now, instead of having 6 PDFs where we're importing comments in from, we have one. You just download the whole thing and everyone's comments are in there. It integrates pretty well with eBuilder. People can get a link from eBuilder and then or Roadrunner, and they can all get in the same document. Pretty cool stuff for collaboration. Another real good, nice benefit is, this is something a lot of people have wondered about, is what if someone wants to get in there and they don't have a license, a Bluebeam license, they haven't paid for a seat. In a session, I should say, in a normal PDF, I try to open it up, you can't really do anything if you have Bluebeam. It'll be in what's called view only mode, and I'll kind of open that up real quick here. Under here, this is view mode, and that view mode is basically what people who don't have a license are going to see. And when you do view mode, you can see almost everything goes away. I can't really do anything. I don't have any tools. It's on my toolbox. Let's see if it works. Doesn't even work. Can't, all these things are highlighted out. If someone downloaded the trial version and they didn't pay for it, they would be able to do, it would turn into view mode only. But in a session, when it's uploaded to the cloud, even people who don't have a license can do simple markups, like they can draw a couple things or do a couple call outs. That's a benefit, I would say. Maybe you have someone who doesn't use this program very often, they don't want to pay for it. They can still use a session. If you send them the link to a session, they can get into it and make a couple comments. Now, the bad is that there's less functionality, and I don't know if this is something that's going to change or this is something that's just built into the way it's done. But the biggest thing that I've noticed, the main functionality is just slightly decreased, but then a couple big changes. You can't delete someone else's comments. So, the Tims are in here, they're making comments in here. I can't delete what they're doing. And for a review, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. You don't want someone deleting your comments, but if I'm working collaboratively with someone else on something we're creating together, maybe we're working on a presentation that we're putting some slides together or whatever, and I want to move this around, I want to delete this. Anything that they've input, you can't adjust other than just crossing out or maybe telling them, hey, delete this. So it's not like Google Doc in that sense. Not everyone has full control. Unfortunately, there is currently no super user setting where someone can literally just have control over their own document. Hopefully that's something that will be integrated in the future, but that's currently not a feature. And then a couple other things that I've noticed, those page labels, remember how I pulled in all the right labels from MicroStation, or I scanned them from the sheet. Those can't be added during a session, but you can add them before a session, or you can add them, after they call it closing the session, when you basically pull it out of the cloud and then you download it and it becomes a normal PDF again. At that point, you'll be able to delete comments. You'll be able to add in the page labels, but it's not like you are totally limited, but while it's in a session, certain things can't be done. The measurement tool as well. So if I calibrate a document or pages in a document, it will only be calibrated for me. It won't be calibrated for all users. That's a negative. And then there's also some customization restrictions in terms of like adding or deleting columns, just less stuff you can do. Basically, my take home point is it's good for a lot of things, but it's not for everything.